Zero recently made a tweet saying that he's not attending Genesis 6, but instead will be restreaming the tournament and commentating over it. Zero's stream has been a hot topic in the Smash Bros. Community as of late. He's been streaming more often and gaining popularity at the expense of attending less tournaments. If we go to twitchstats.net and take a look at Zero's subscriber count, he's got over 6,600 subscribers on his channel. He's the most popular Smash Bros. Streamer at the moment, and generally appears in Twitch's all channels list when his stream is live. Let's do some math and create a model that lets us estimate the amount of money that Zero is making streaming versus attending tournaments. Twitch streamers make roughly $2.50 per hour, making his monthly income from subscribers alone equal to at least $16,500. For this model, we'll make the big assumption that his stream will stay the same size over the next 12 months. That puts him at $200,000 of income per year from his Twitch stream.
Here it is. Show me the money.
It's likely that this number is an estimate on the low side since streamers make a sizable portion of their income from donations. esportsearnings.com has a list of esports players and their tournament winnings. In 2017, Zero's biggest year, he earned $80,000 in winnings. Comparing the estimated amount from streaming to the money he earned while winning tournaments shows us that Zero has a larger income streaming than competing.
That's what I'm talking about!
Here's Zero's own thoughts about his future competing in Smash Bros. Ultimate.
I'm gonna put it to you guys very frankly, very short. I will compete in Smash Ultimate. And so what is my condition, right? I find competing to be very stressful, and I find competing to be something that you put a lot of sacrifice in. But the only thing that really bothers me about competing is that sometimes you put a lot of effort into something, and then at the end of the day, you know, you don't really have too much to actually go with it. It's like I won Evo, and Evo is only like $7,000. You know, like you don't like Evo was probably the culmination of 2 years of my work, you know, to win Evo, but I only made $7,000. It's not worth it. It's like realistically, you know, it's not worth your time. However, I will only be interested in competing if I have really good business opportunities with this game. Like if I can, I'm gonna be very blunt with you guys. If I feel like I can make good money with this game and actually make the effort worth, then I will unretire.
Zero's main concern is the amount of money he's making from the game, so this begs the question, how do competitive Smashers make money from tournaments? Smash Bros. Tournament prize pots are created to reward players significantly more money for placing higher in the tournament. The amount of money in the prize pot consists of the entry fees times the number of entrants in the tournament, plus any pot bonuses granted by a tournament organizer or sponsors promoting the event. Here are some prize pot models used by major tournaments. Looking at these two large tournament prize pools, there are only payouts for top 8, with the majority of the prize pool money going to first place. Winning EVO, which historically is the largest Smash tournament, won that you somewhere between $7,000 and $16,000. Smash Bros. Doesn't have Nintendo supporting the game and adding money to the prize pot, so the winnings consist of tournament entry fees only. The $80,000 that Zero made in 2017 was him being the absolute best at his craft. Getting second place earns a third of the money of first place. Comparing Zero's salary to Nairo, another top 5 Smash Bros. Player, Nairo only made $22,000 from tournaments in 2017. The difference in the amount of money that players of similar skill level take home is dramatic. It's crazy to think that if you wanted to become a professional Smash Bros. Player, you either have to be the very best player in the world, or you need to supplement your income to make an average wage. Twitch streamers, on the other hand, have a subscriber base that functions as a consistent level of income. That number for most streamers tends to increase until it flatlines and matures at a certain amount. That is the equilibrium subscriber count for that channel. If the number does change, it tends to have some inertia, so big swings are not common.
I wish I could show my appreciation for this video. I wish I could respond to it somehow, or be notified in the future when this channel updates, because it's so great. But I don't think there's a way I can do any of those things. Fuck.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe!
Oh!
So why would Zero, the man making the most money in Smash 4 tournaments, want to stop competing? Zero's decision to focus on streaming falls under a common psychological theory. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a psychological model that separates human motivations into multiple categories. The needs at the base of the pyramid need to be met before the ones higher on the pyramid can be. Each level must be met to some amount that's determined by the individual before they can work on the next level. Income is a physiological need at the bottom of the pyramid, while the pride and accomplishment from winning tournaments is way higher up. When he was constantly attending tournaments, Zero was focusing on the top parts of the pyramid while neglecting the bottom. The reverse pyramid is stressful since the most powerful needs aren't being fulfilled. Zero's decision to focus on streaming allows him to satisfy the lower parts of the pyramid before moving up to the top. So Zero may be the first player to slow down his competitive fire to start streaming in the Smash Bros. Community, but this phenomenon is happening in other games. It's present in Blizzard's online card game, Hearthstone.
Oh, welcome! Come warm your frozen boots by the fire.
Hearthstone is an online competitive card game that hosts tournaments funded by Blizzard. Blizzard runs an active Hearthstone circuit that ends in a yearly World Championship event at BlizzCon. There's a lot more money in the Hearthstone scene than the Smash scene, since Blizzard funds their tournaments. Major tournaments tend to have prize pools in the order of $250,000, or 10 times the amount of money at Smash Bros. Majors. Blizzard has put $4 million of prize pool pot bonus money in their game for 2019 compared to the predicted $0 from Nintendo. A common trend among pro Hearthstone players is to attend tournaments until they get a breakout win at a major, and then they start a streaming career. Once this happens, the streamers will only enter a small number of tournaments to keep their stream schedule consistent and their subscriber count healthy. Firebat, the 2014 Hearthstone World Champion, is one of the first of many that dove into the streaming world after having a breakout tournament.
Oh my gosh! Firebat is the 2014 Hearthstone World Champion! GG! Incredible!
Since Firebat has retired from competing, he now spends most of his time streaming.
Why don't I stream as a main job? I do sometimes. I like to mix it up. I've done casting, production, only tournament play, and I've done streaming, which has been my favorite so far. Just competing. It's originally why I got into it, was so I could just compete. I didn't plan on streaming or anything in the beginning. That all just sort of happened. It's really hard to just compete right now though, because the way the tournaments work out, 2 years ago they used to do 16-mans with qualifier slots, and then it was actually viable to just compete all the time, but no, it's not economically viable to just compete all the time, and I don't want to be losing money. I want to be at least sustaining. But I remember when you could just compete and I was able to make like $150,000 just playing tournaments, and now like no one makes more than 100K playing tournaments, and that's just the one guy that wins BlizzCon that gets the 100K.
Comparing Firebat's situation to Zero's directly, Firebat has more tournament winnings from less tournaments entered, but he also makes less money streaming. So his situation is a less extreme version of Zero's, and he still made the decision to quit competing. Firebat is just a case study in a pool of players that follow this same pattern. Since many players followed this trend, the viewing habits of Hearthstone fans have changed. The Hearthstone scene still has tournaments that people watch, but the viewership is generally split 50-50 between tournaments and popular streamers that both are happening at the same time. I think that this is the direction that the Smash Bros. Community is heading, and is directly following Hearthstone. As time goes on, people's priorities change as they shift their habits. Zero's recent focus on content creation mirrors the same actions that Firebat took a few years ago after his legendary World Championship win. If Smash Bros. Ends up seeing the same trends as Hearthstone, Zero is leading the pack of people that will stop competing to become community figureheads. Only time will tell how this will pan out for the Smash community, and I'll be here with you along for the ride.
Oh, did I win?